Do you know what is truly criminal, darling? The fact that rich children learn financial secrets still in their cribs while you there in your 30s are just discovering the difference between debit and credit cards. I am Duchess Dollars. And believe me when I say, poverty is for people who do not know how to live better. Let me tell you something that will change your life. Children of the rich are programmed for wealth even before they learn to walk. It is not because they are smarter, it is because their parents actually teach how money works, instead of hiding the bills under a pile of anxiety. My Mr. Millionaire and I were discussing this over caviar last week. The waiters kept giving us those looks, those that scream, "Eat the rich," but honestly, they should have been taking notes. Poor people teach their children to survive. Rich people teach their children to thrive. Which lesson would you prefer? Now, let us get to know the 15 wealth secrets that rich children absorb along with their organic baby food, while the rest of us learned them through painful and expensive life lessons that probably involved tears and a maxed-out credit card. Secret number 1. Money is a magnificent tool, not a terrifying monster. Rich families discuss finances at the dinner table. Poor families whisper about bills in the bathroom with running water so that children cannot hear how broke they are. When you grow up seeing money as something scarce and scary, guess what? It remains scarce and scary. My parents never hid bank statements from me. At 7 years old, I knew exactly how much our yacht cost to maintain. Meanwhile, most American children think ATMs simply produce money magically whenever mom needs it. The difference? One child grows up financially literate, the other grows up financially illiterate. Think about it. When you grow up with parents who are afraid to talk about money, you absorb that fear. It is like inheriting financial trauma. Rich children grow up seeing money as something neutral, a tool that can be used to create more freedom. They do not cry when they see the bank statement. They analyze and plan. My father used to give me a generous allowance not for me to buy what I wanted, but for me to learn how to manage money. By 10 years old, I already knew how much to spend, how much to save, and how much to invest. Did your mother teach you that, or did she just give you some change to buy candy? Well, I also imagined. Secret number 2. Assets make you richer, liabilities make you poorer. Rich children learn to identify the difference between things that put money in their pockets and things that take money out. That $50,000 car you are financing? That is not an asset, darling. It is a liability dressed in metallic paint. Once I saw a 10-year-old heir to a hotel fortune explain to his nanny why her new car was a depreciating liability. Was he unbearable? Absolutely. Was he wrong? Absolutely not. The rule is simple. An asset generates money for you. A liability costs money. Your rented apartment? Liability. An apartment you bought to rent to other people? Asset. Your new car? Huge liability. Stocks that pay dividends? Delicious asset. When Mr. Millionaire gave me a diamond necklace on our anniversary, the first thing I asked was, "Is it an investment diamond or just for show?" He looked at me with so much pride. I almost cried. It was both, of course. A true rich person never wastes an opportunity to transform even jewelry into assets. Secret number 3. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Most Americans are raised to celebrate a big salary. Rich children are taught to celebrate smart investments. That is why a doctor earning $300,000 per year can still be broke, while some boring-looking accountant with rental properties is quietly sitting on millions. When I received my first salary from my job, Daddy's company, VP position, created specifically for me, the first thing Mr. Millionaire asked was not, "What are you going to buy?" but, "Where are you going to invest?" It is a completely different mindset, darling. Do you know what happens to most people when they get a raise? They increase their lifestyle in the same proportion. New salary, new car, new bonus, new house. It is the perfect formula to stay exactly where you were. Broke, just with prettier things around you. The rich teach their children to live comfortably below their means, no matter how big those means are. When I was promoted in my father's company, I kept the same apartment for 3 more years, while investing the difference. It was those investments, not my salary, that paid for my first mansion. Secret number 4. Your network determines your net worth. Rich children are socialized in country clubs, charity galas, and private school functions, not because their parents want them to be snobs, but because connections open doors that talent alone cannot. My Chanel, that is my little dog, not my purse, has more valuable connections than most humans. She has been to the Hamptons, Miami, and Aspen. She knows where money gathers. This is not about being elitist. It is about strategic socialization. The person who approves your small business loan might be sitting next to you at the golf club. Have you noticed how rich people always seem to know someone who can solve their problems? It is not coincidence. It is careful planning across generations. My parents enrolled me in the right schools, the right sports, and the right summer camps. Not for the academic programs, but for the connections I would make. When I needed to open my first company, I did not need to look for investors on strange websites. I called 3 friends' parents from school. We closed the initial financing during a golf game. Meanwhile, maybe you are trying to convince strangers on crowdfunding platforms. Do you see the difference? Secret number 5. Money flows to problem solvers. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you will earn. Rich children are not taught to get jobs. They are taught to identify inefficiencies in the market. I did not become rich by working harder than you. I became rich by identifying problems that many people have and creating solutions they will gladly pay for. That is why my lifestyle brand sells $95 candles that smell like financial freedom. You are not buying wax. You are buying the dream. The poor are trained to fulfill tasks. The rich are trained to find opportunities. When a poor person sees a long line, they think, what an inconvenience. When a rich person sees a long line, they think, here is a problem that needs a solution people would pay for. My childhood friend, daughter of an investment banker, started her first company at 16 after realizing there were no reliable delivery services in our exclusive neighborhood. Today, she runs a logistics company valued in 9 digits. She does not work harder than a delivery driver. She simply identified and solved a bigger problem. Secret number 6. Good debt builds wealth, bad debt destroys it. When poor people hear debt, they think of credit cards and payday loans. When rich people hear debt, they think of leverage and opportunity. Using loans to buy assets that generate more than the cost of the loan, that is good debt. Using credit cards to buy shoes you cannot afford, that is how you keep shopping. At DSW instead of Dior for the rest of your life. My first big lesson about debt came when I was 14. My father loaned me money to buy stocks in a company I loved. The loan had interest. My father would never give anything for free, of course. But the stocks appreciated more than the loan interest. I learned that using borrowed money to make more money is like having financial superpowers. While your friends are using credit to buy purses they cannot afford, my friends are using credit to buy properties that generate enough income to buy new purses every month. Who is smarter in this equation? Secret number 7. Time is the ultimate luxury. Rich children. Learn early that true wealth is not having money, it is controlling your time. Poor people trade time for money. Rich people invest money to reclaim their time. My daily schedule is completely under my control. I wake up at 10 because I can. I take Wednesdays off because life is too short to work 5 consecutive days. Time freedom is not a benefit of wealth. It is wealth. The biggest mistake I see people make is thinking that money is the end goal. It is not. It is time. It is the freedom to wake up when your body wants, not when your boss demands. It is the freedom to travel when you want, not just during your 2 miserable weeks of vacation per year. Mr. Millionaire has a rule. If something can be outsourced for less than he earns per hour, it is hired out. We do not clean, we do not cook, we do not mow the lawn, we do not do grocery shopping. Not because we are lazy or arrogant, but because our time is worth more used in activities that only we can do. It is simple math that poor people never learn. Secret number 8. The tax code is actually a treasure map. While most parents teach their children to fear the IRS, rich families teach their children that the tax code is simply a set of rules designed to reward certain behaviors, like investing, creating jobs, and making charitable donations. I pay less taxes than my housekeeper, in percentage terms, not because I am breaking rules, but because I am following them strategically. The government literally tells you how to keep more of your money. Just read the instructions. The difference is that the rich spend tens of thousands on the best accountants and tax attorneys, while the poor use free tax filing programs. A rich person sees the tax code and thinks, how can I use this to my advantage? A poor person sees the same code and thinks, I hope I do not get audited. When I was 19, my father gave me the book, How the Rich Avoid Taxes, as a birthday present. It was the best education I received, much better than the degree I got from university, just to decorate my office. Secret number 9. Skills create freedom. Degrees collect dust. Rich children do not need Harvard to succeed, although it does not hurt. They are taught that practical skills, communication, negotiation, financial literacy, and network building will take them further than any piece of paper. Your student loans are financing someone else's real estate empire. Think about that the next time you make that monthly $800 payment for your psychology degree that you are not using. How many times have you heard your parents say, study hard, get good grades, get into a good college, get a good job? That is the middle-class mantra. The rich say something different. Identify problems, develop solutions, build assets, hire smart people. My billionaire mentor, yes with a B, never finished college. When I asked why, she said, I was too busy buying the campus building. She was not joking. While her peers were studying theory, she was accumulating properties around the university that she now rents to students. Secret number 10, play the long game, not the lottery. While ordinary people are buying scratch tickets and praying for a miracle, rich families are making incremental investments that compound over decades. I do not play gambling games. I prefer strategy games. The stock market is not gambling when you understand how to analyze companies and have the patience to hold investments for years, not days. The casino mentality is why the average person remains average. They want instant wealth without the work or discipline needed to build it. That is why common people play the lottery while rich people invest in real estate, stocks, and businesses. Did you know that if you invested $300 per month in the stock market since your 20s, you would probably be a millionaire by 65? But that is not sexy enough, is it? It is much more tempting to spend $300 on lottery tickets and dream of a magical solution. That is why you are not rich, darling. Secret number 11. Live below your means, even when those means are enormous. The truly rich are not impressed by displays of conspicuous consumption. They are impressed by balance sheets and investment returns. You know what is really chic? Having so much money that you do not need to prove you have money. My richest friends drive modest cars and live in homes that could fit inside their actual net worth hundreds of times. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Not because he cannot buy something better, he could buy entire cities, but because he understood long ago that true wealth is about choice, not ostentation. Once I bought a Bentley at Mr. Millionaire's request to attend an important event. I sold it 3 months later and invested the money in a promising startup. The car was a financial black hole. The startup tripled my investment in 1 year. Learn the difference between status symbols and wealth builders. Secret number 12. Decision fatigue is disguised poverty. Rich children learn to eliminate meaningless choices to preserve mental energy for important decisions. That is why successful people often wear the same clothes and eat the same meals. I have 7 identical white silk blouses. Not because I lack imagination, but because I am saving my decision-making power for things that actually generate wealth. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Mark Zuckerberg, too. It is not coincidence. Each decision you make depletes a bit of your mental reserve. The rich conserve that energy for big decisions that really matter, while the poor spend it deciding what to wear or eat. I have had the same breakfast for 5 years. Protein smoothie, eggs, and avocado. Mr. Millionaire has had the same work lunch since I met him. Is that strange? Maybe. But we are not wasting time thinking about food when we could be thinking about how to multiply our wealth. Secret number 13. Health is the foundation of wealth. While everyone knows health is important, rich families treat wellness as a crucial investment, not an optional luxury. My monthly wellness budget would make you faint. Preventive care, personal training, nutritionists, sleep specialists. These are not indulgences. They are investments in my most valuable asset, my ability to continue earning money for decades. The poor think health is something you take care of after you get sick. The rich know it is something you invest in before anything goes wrong. A rich person spends $500 per month on a personal trainer. A poor person finds this frivolous until they are paying $5,000 per month in medical bills. I have a complete checkup every 3 months. I have a physical and mental wellness team. I sleep 8 hours per night. No exceptions. Not because I am neurotic, but because I know that a tired mind and body make poor financial decisions. How do you expect to build wealth when you can barely stay awake during the day? Secret number 14. Happiness is a skill, not a purchase. Rich children are taught that material possessions provide diminishing returns of happiness, while experiences, relationships, and personal growth offer increasing returns. Yes, my closet looks like a fashion museum, but my happiest moments are not about acquisition. They are about creation, connection, and contribution. Do not believe me? Ask any genuinely rich person what their favorite memories are. I guarantee they will not mention their Rolex. The truly rich learn early that things do not bring lasting happiness, but connections do. That is why rich families value dinners, trips, and traditions so much. They understand that memories outlast possessions. When Mr. Millionaire asked me what I wanted for my birthday this year, I did not ask for jewelry or purses. I asked for 3 weeks in an Italian villa with our entire family. It cost a fortune, but the photos of those nights under the Tuscan stars are worth much more than any diamond necklace in my safe. Secret number 15. Money will not make you a better person, but it will solve most practical problems. Rich parents teach their children that money is morally neutral. It amplifies who you already are. If you are generous, wealth makes you more generous. If you are a jerk, wealth makes you a bigger jerk. The poor teach their children that money is the root of all evil, ensuring another generation of financial struggle. The rich teach their children that money is simply energy and opportunity in physical form. One of the biggest myths perpetuated by the poor is that rich people are bad people. Some are, of course. But most I have met are extremely generous and focused on how they can use their wealth to make a difference. The difference is that they do not need to make noise about it on social media. The most beautiful thing about money is that it amplifies who you already are. If you are terrible, money will allow you to be more terrible on a larger scale. If you are wonderful, money will allow you to spread more of that wonder throughout the world. So, darling, what kind of person are you when nobody is looking? These 15 secrets are not just for people born into wealth. If they were, I would not be sharing them with you. Anyone can adopt these principles and change their financial trajectory, even if you are starting from zero. If you want to learn more about building wealth the way the truly rich do, click subscribe and activate that notification bell. Leave a like if you want to escape the rat race before you get too old to enjoy your freedom. I left links for some fabulously rich products in the pinned comment below. And if you like this glimpse of how the other half lives, comment "rich mind" below. Remember, darling, being broke is temporary, but being poor is a state of mind. And just between us, you deserve more than any of them. This is Duchess Dollars, and I will see you in my next video, preferably from the VIP room of your mind.